You're good. I did want to do a quick announcement after the intro tonight, because I usually, like the pre-stream stuff, I usually cut out from our YouTube videos. So all of you who are tuning in and watching us on YouTube right now, I did want to mention that we are going a little bit out of the secret of the Dragon Emperor. Now, this is in Misty Vale, but a lot of this stuff is going to be a lot of things that are homebrewed. So if you're looking in the adventure book and you're like, where are the Misty Falls? What is happening here? You're not going to find it in the book because it's stuff that we are making up as we go, which is what we like to do when we play games. So I encourage you to do the same thing for your party. Now, we will get back in, and whenever I do titles, I will title the episodes after the different adventure locations that occur here in the Misty Vale for the adventures that we have. But until then, feel free to follow along with the chaos that is the suspicious acquaintances as they continue their journey. So, Geier, you're laying on the ground in the arms of your wolfkin friend, who just caught you from being dropped out of the air. You guys can see the orange glow and hear the crackle of the fire, not but a few meters away from you. You can see, illuminated by this orange glow, a halfling, your halfling friend, Kalsika, standing over the fire, holding the grimoire of Harfamel over the flames. Heat kind of tickling the bottom of her arm as little wisps of the fire and sparks kind of just zoom by every once in a while from the book. As Belthus is standing there, looking intimidating over the rest of the party, as Tenumeral stands between everyone. Conry got a little bit of a bump and a bruise from Geier falling on top of him.
Never thought that would be a projectile, but you know, flying ducks. It happens.
So
Fastball special. I'm just saying.
I gotta ask you, Geier, you've now that you've fallen, you've kind of snapped out of this like frozen state that you were in. I want to ask you two questions. Number one, how do you feel? And number two, what do you do?
So, first, because even while being suspended, Geier was, and having this, to put it plain, having this freak out because realizing how upset Tenumeral is about something that in Geier's mind doesn't affect her. Nothing was done to Tenumeral. And looking over at Kalsika and remembering what Tenumeral had been yelling about. How far is Geier from the fire, from where Kalsika's holding the book?
I would say 6 meters. So the equivalent of like 3 squares on a map, battle map.
Yeah, so Geier's immediate action would be to just sort of look down and, again, however Conry and Geier sort of crumpled on the ground, reach out and just real quick give Conry a quick pat on the shoulder and a little squeeze and just, thank you, I hope that didn't hurt you much. And is going to sprint towards Kalsika, trying to grab the book from her.
Okay. So the old mallard
he kicks off on me and just
does a kickflip off of Conry and starts running in a direction of. Now you can. He's far enough away that you can see him running towards you, Kalsika. How do you respond to this moment?
Now hold on. Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Roll-
Yeah, I am leaving.
he didn't
want
not
one?
disengage. You know?
Kalsika turns and pulls the book back closer to her chest for a moment, and when she meets Geier's eyes, she starts crying
Okay.
because she's simultaneously relieved that he's okay because he's up and running as best as he can.
There are
And
a few
also-
feathers flying off of him too as
Yeah.
he's running towards you.
But also the fear and the anger and the confusion she just felt in the last few moments with her party members all swirled in her, and she's very unsure of what to do as Geier runs at her.
Okay, while Geier's running, I do want to offer this because this is all happening kind of at once. I know Belthus had mentioned something about give him the book. So, Belthus, you're watching Geier start to sprint in the direction of the book. To Numeral and Belthus, would you do anything in response to this? As this is all kind of happening at the same time.
Well, it looks like Kalsika is pulling it away from the fire.
Mhm.
So Numeral would be pretty relieved about that. And sort of when Geier fell and got caught by Connery, she would, still have her hand kind of up, like ready to cast, but if anyone were to notice, her other hand, her right hand, would be on her grimoire that's like tied around her waist.
Mhm.
And she'd be looking like scared, confused, worried. The anger like kind of starting to dissipate after, Geier landed. And she would just be kind of like holding on to her grimoire and looking at the other one and not really also knowing what to do.
Okay.
And that leaves Belthus. What are you doing?
Belda is watching everyone hand on sword right now, like, in the sheath, and just kind of, watching how things play out.
Okay. So, Geier, you do approach Kalsika and see tears running down her face as she has the book held tightly against her.
So, seeing Kalsika's face and how she is, and Geier's going to drop down to her level, and without really even acknowledging the book or anything about it, just sort of reach down and grab her in a hug, and pull Kalsika in close. And then very quietly to Kalsika, trying to keep this between us, to say that she dug around in my mind a bit more than I had intended. I did not expect the vehemence of her reaction, but I think I may be able to make it right, if you'll trust me.
She used magic against you, Mr. Geier. And you got hurt.
It was no worse than some of the other bumps. Initially, things were going quite well. She had asked if she could cast a spell, and we were talking in my mind. Well, I suppose she was talking in my mind, and she was doing something in my head, and she could hear me, and I could hear her. It was...
That's because somebody else took the damage.
Kalsika has plans to tackle hug Connery after all of this is settled. So later.
Don't
so
worry, my floral trail broke the fall.
Probably did.
Great, we're all covered in dandelion fuzz now.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
that's it. Yep, it's everywhere. Can't get rid of that stuff.
Yeah, Numeral may have been counting on Connery to come save the day a little bit.
I think we all subconsciously.
I was
count on
busy
that a
with
little
my
bit.
deer.
Guy will look down and go, most people don't get that upset when you take something that
Doesn't belong to them.
Doesn't belong to them. I would have no way of knowing that she would completely lose any sense of decorum. But I think I can deal with her and have this work out for everyone.
Okay. I'm not giving it to them right now, though. Maybe Belfast when this is done.
It's trust me and give it to me. In order to make this right, I need to do this.
Casca looks over her shoulder at them. And then looks at Geier. And she's still, like, quietly crying a little. She hands him the grimoire and steps back from him. And he's never seen this with her. Her hands are shaking a little. And she moves and stands behind him. And keeps her eyes on the rest of the party. Still shaking a little. And waits.
As she goes to walk away, guys, you again do that very similar to what you did with Connery, but a little more familially. Just reach out and grab Casca by the shoulder and a little bit by the back of the neck and just give a good solid squeeze for a moment. And then turn towards Tenumeral, walking sort of back over towards Tenumeral, but stopping by. Is Connery still just laying on the ground?
Oh no, I'm now propped up with one elbow. Just
Looking comfortable, though. You don't look like anything's wrong with you.
no, just looking comfy.
Enjoying the fire.
Thinking about the wise words that deer imparted with me.
What did Deer say again?
It's been there a long time. The rock's been there a long time.
The deer is sitting there going, dude, something is happening at your camp right now. You either need to get back right now or you got to run the other direction. The whole forest is running away from that area right now. Geier's probably going to get about somewhere in the ballpark of like 8 to 10 meters away from Tenumeral.
Smart.
And again, holding the grimoire. I'm just going to look down at it. Like briefly open, just hold it for a second and just sort of go like, make sure that doesn't look like there's anything burned or anything from it being held over the fire, right?
Oh, it doesn't look singed or anything, no.
Okay.
Kalska's missing a little arm hair, but the book's fine.
It smells a little smoky, but that's about it.
Geier's going to look over to Tenumeral. I have to say, you are the first person I have ever met that has gotten so upset when someone else had something stolen.
He wasn't just someone else. He was a teacher. He taught me and Connery magic. Not only that, he's an elf.
Taught me such useful magic. 15 minutes to talk to a deer.
Well, I learned a lot.
So we have a choice on how we proceed from here. Now, you are obviously upset, as everyone within the kilometer of two has heard. And we have two options on how we move forward from this. And it falls to your desire which direction we take. So our first option, as you said, this belongs to an elf. We can turn tail and head immediately back to Outskirt and attempt to return it to him. I will meet with him and attempt to make reparations for any damage I've caused him. Unfortunately for you, that leaves your knife unrepaired. Our second option is we continue on our path as intended. We go get your knife repaired, as we told Havamal that we had planned on traveling here. And then we return back to Outskirt. And we discuss with him there, and again, reparations are made. The question to you is, what is more important to you? Returning someone else's book, or going to meet with another potential teacher and getting your knife fixed? And then returning the book.
Can we trust you not to steal from any more of my teachers?
Hold on. Well, let's not get too hasty, because next time you may not want to steal the grimoire, but could I ask you to steal back the gold fee at least? Because, wow.
I'm sorry, the what?
Yeah, he charged me. I don't know about you, but yeah.
Geier.
Yeah, I paid to learn. And I want my money back. That deer had nothing useful to say to me.
You need to ask some of the right questions, Connery.
Hey, where's the best berry bush?
I think that'd be useful.
Be good for dinner.
Connery just lays back down in a pouty way, like tantrum.
You just made the whole party hungry for berries now.
I miss those blueberries from the temple.
No, you don't.
However, we've digressed.
Geier will take a couple of steps towards Tenumal. I will agree with that on one condition. You agree to teach me. And with that, I will also give you the grimoire to hold. It will be in your possession, not in mine.
Wait, what's the condition? If we
You
what? If
teach
you
me?
don't steal from any more teachers? Sorry.
Yes, you asked me not to steal from any more of your teachers.
It's been a long day.
What do you mean? It's still the middle of the bleeding night.
You know, I'm very exhausted. T-numeral does have an exhausted condition. Well, I'm just worried. Can you be trusted around? Are you going to steal my grimoire next?
Oh, I would
There
never
should
take
be
something.
no more stealing, I think. Otherwise, don't do it in front of me.
I'll say, that's Kauska's whole thing.
Steal means is okay. Stealing from allies is wrong.
Stealing from a strange magic user who apparently knew how to open and close a demonic portal in a temple. We don't know whether he's a friend or an enemy at this point.
If he was an enemy, would he have treated my wound after the cultist axed me nearly to death?
He treated you. He's been civil to us after Geier paid him for a plant.
But if he was evil, he would have just let me die. Right?
Well, it depends on how much money he needs. You pay him for training, don't you? People have all manner of motivations. But again, the deal is on the table for you. You get possession of the grimoire. I will not steal from any more of your teachers. I will not steal from anyone that we are traveling with currently. And all you need to do is work with me to overcome my fear and teach me.
Connery. He's got magic.
I love the perfectly timed sip. Yeah, that's another topic.
I mean, I could always work with Conry and just hold on to this. That's fine.
Are you really concerned Halframol might be bad? Time has passed. Do we think he's at outskirt by now?
Been a couple of days. He was on.
Yeah. He's probably, if he's not, he's close.
Yeah, because we've gone north. He went south.
And you guys aren't, like, you guys have the cart, but you're not traveling, like, as fast as you normally would because you're not on a road. You're like, off-roading this.
Yeah, I don't think the cart's for speed. It's more like a utility vehicle.
Yeah.
Is Tanumural's considering if she could settle this by, like, casting Farsight to the tavern? And if she succeeds, seeing if he's there and who he's chatting with.
I mean, we did tell him to go to the tavern.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know if that's realistically enough time has passed.
Is outskirt only 1 kilometer away?
At a higher power level, she can cast it kind of far, right?
Yeah, I think it has to be...
Oh yeah, you can add 10 kilometers or 100.
You guys are pretty far.
No, we're only 56 feet.
It doesn't have it. It doesn't have it. Like, it's because I put this map in here, so it's not the official one from Dragonbane, so it's not going to be mapped out. But if you look in the top right hand corner, it has like a red and white bar that says 15 kilometers. So that's kind of like the. So you guys are probably
Like 40 some odd kilometers.
Yeah, probably 40 plus, probably even more than that from outskirt. Looks like Geier's getting some measuring sticks on the map.
Yeah, we're about 45, give or take, probably closer to 50 kilometers from it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's quite a
at power
distance.
level 3, it can go up to 100.
That's crazy. So crazy.
Let me see. Do I even have enough willpower points to do this? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She does. Well, if your concern, Geier, is that Halframol may not be good in the first place, I do have my ways of potentially checking in to see if he's at the tavern or associating with those we know to be untrustworthy.
If you have those means, that is your choice, should you choose to use them in that manner. Again, we don't know much about him other than he was in the temple where the cultists were and they were not attacking him. And based on our conversation at the end, he had the ability to go down and close the portal without a second thought. Which means he probably had the ability to open the portal.
Why would it help us then?
For the gold.
But we were paying him and we were just there looking around.
Lady Seer, you closed the portal. Can you open portals?
No. Not to my awareness.
So there's no guarantee he's responsible for this portal.
Right, but there's no guarantee he isn't. We don't know the proper ritual. If there may be something within that temple, or there may be something known to him. Again, I haven't read everything in the book, obviously. I've been fumbling my way through. There could be things that he knows that he has not shared. He is an unknown commodity at this point.
Be in the habit of stealing people's grimoires who are alive.
Yeah, wait for them to die first. Wait.
Q
that's a bad
Conry.
idea.
Dangerous.
And I have already stated I would not do such.
I don't know if I can commit to teaching you right now. This has been quite a day. Maybe someone neutral can hold on to this grimoire for now.
Geier will turn back around and hand it to Kalsika.
And thus,
You're
Kalsika,
yelling, but you're
the caster is created.
Put out.
She just almost burned it. That's not neutral.
Binders.
She prevented both you and she was an effort to prevent both either you or I from possessing it. We can't use Belthus. He has been with you longer than he has been with I.
What about Conry then? He saved you.
How about
Yes, give the power to Conry.
All of a sudden, all of a sudden, a deer comes out of the woods and says, "How about me?" No, I'm just-
I was actually debating going to give it an animal and like what'll be No, Kalska just is still standing there holding. Now she has the book back, and she's still shaky. And she looks at Belthus, and she looks over at Conry.
Hi.
Whose watch is next?
Well, Conry has some pretty advanced technology in this world.
A magic mirror on his wrist.
Terakala.
Well, I don't think either of you should have watches alone. After what we know Geier does on his watches.
He reads a book. And if you're gonna keep being mean about it, you have to remember that not everyone's perfect like you, Tinny.
He stole a grimoire. How do we
And
know
you're
he's not going to
pretending.
steal mine?
And you're pretending like you've never done anything wrong right now, and I don't like it. Whose turn is it next to stay up?
Probably be either Conry or Belthus. Because you had an earlier watch than... No, Conry was gone, so it would have to be Belthus, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Fine. Belthus and I will stay up together, and we'll put it on a rock between us. And then when Conry wakes up and it's his turn, since he's the only one who's trusted, but he needs to sleep since he was talking to a deer for a while, then he can watch the book.
This sounds complicated.
Absolutely, you can trust me. With the power of this grimoire, I will talk to so many deer.
If you think the book's gonna help you talk to deer better, I think he taught you wrong.
I mean, God could learn from it while we have it, before we return it.
So it's okay for Conry to do that, but not okay for Mr. Geier to try to do that.
Well,
not
Conry
one
didn't
Race.
steal
That's
it.
racist.
We have to realize there was a robbery that occurred, and we did promise Half and All that
I'm
we
not
would return
denying
this.
that.
I swore that I would chase down the brigands, and I think that, unfortunately, the brigand is not who we hoped it would be, but...
Congratulations, you succeeded and you have chased me down.
Unfortunately.
All right,
Your
now
quest has been completed, sir.
say something villainous. Yeah, you'll never take me alive.
Unlimited power.
Oh.
I was
Yeah.
mostly joking, but Conry's not the one who stole it, so...
Well, don't
And
joke.
lied to us about stealing it.
Yeah, you lied to the whole party.
Yeah, he lied to me and I got over it pretty quick. It's called friendship.
It's called You're Used to Lies.
Well,
have I ever
you
lied
are
to
What
you
else
are
you
used
both
you are
lying
used to
about?
stealing. You are-
But Tinny, when have I ever lied to you?
I don't know. Should I cast telepathy and find out?
Go ahead. You'll never find one.
Well, we'll see about that.
Mhm.
And Numeral would grab her grimoire very tightly and swish off towards the tent. She's very exhausted.
Okay. Numeral
How the hell
disappears
am I
into
gonna
the
sleep?
into the tent.
She's an outside sleeper and she goes to the tent. Great. I throw the book at Connery.
So catching the book, gonna walk over to Mr. Geier, put my hand on his shoulder, and just in a low tone so nobody else could hear. I already knew that you had the book. I just wanted to see what you were gonna do with it. And I am not disappointed because either way, you're going to return this book is your intentions. So learn from it all you want, but do return it back to its owner.
That was
I'm
always
just
the
going to
plan
hold on
upon
to
our
it for
return.
now. And then I'm going back into the woods to talk to my friend. Dear.
Casca sits down on a rock by the fire and crosses her arms.
Gary's gonna walk past Kalsic as he starts heading off and just gonna go curl up with the dogs on the back of the cart. And
Yeah, I was about to say, this is going to be awkward. We only have one tent.
Yeah.
again sort of bends down and grabs Kalsic by the back of the head and puts his forehead against the top of her head for a moment. I'm sorry this has made things difficult.
I don't care that a mistake was made because we all make them. I don't like that she's pretending that she's never made them and is mad at you for making one and not acknowledging that it's a mistake. She's not listening to the fact that you're planning to give it back either way. I don't like that. I know she's mad. She's allowed to be mad. But so am I. But apparently because I'm 3 feet tall, it doesn't matter.
Just we'll see what the morning brings. She seems to be more upset by the fact that it was stolen from an elf. That leads me to believe had we stole it from a human or a wolfkin or malletkin,
Halfling. She wouldn't have cared.
not nearly as much, it appears. At least that's based on her outrage a little while ago. But we'll see what the morning brings. It's all we can do at this point.
Go get some sleep, Mr. Geier.
Hopefully. Gary's just going to, again, give her a little squeeze and go curl up with the dogs.
Okay.
Casca sharpens a stick the whole time.
Hopefully there's no goblins nearby.
Hopefully there is.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking, oh, wait, Numeral's going to fall over, and oh, I fell on a stick.
Belthus, is there anything that you would be doing before you were heading off to take, or you were taking watch, right? Is that
Taking a
what?
watch, yeah. Bells is watching everyone like a hawk, just
Sure.
watching for anything suspicious.
Okay. Really, everybody's just kind of trying to unravel and trying to kind of get away from each other for a little while, to see if they can cool down a little bit. And it does take some of you a little bit of time to actually fall asleep. But when you do, you guys are so exhausted from the day's travel that you just kind of drift off. And I'm going to say right there, you guys are going to get the benefits of a shift rest. So you guys will be able to get all of your HP, willpower points back. Any damage that you've taken, you can restore your hit points.
Before I miss my opportunity, when he says that he watches us like a hawk, can I cast Animal Whisper?
He's not actually a hawk. He's just he's
Okay,
like a
I'm
hawk.
misunderstanding the spell still.
Yeah, the key word was like. If he would have said, "I am a hawk and I am
In my
watching
hawk
you," then I
form.
would have totally let you do that.
Good. I'm no longer disheartened.
I think Geier's no longer every single condition.
I was only exhausted and terrified.
My hip popped back in place after catching a duck, so I'm fully healed.
So as the morning mist greets you, you guys pack up your tent. Probably still a little timid and silently kind of moving about your campsite, packing things up, getting yourself something to eat for breakfast. You guys
Everybody's side-eyeing each other.
Yeah, everybody's suspiciously side-eyeing each other. You guys do probably have about a day and a half's worth of travel before you reach your destination. It does get kind of, it may end up being like more like 2 days because of the terrain starts to get a little bit more hilly and then mountainous. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult with the wagon. And
before we start heading that direction, Geier would look over at numeral. So did you make your choice? Are we continuing on? Or are we returning to Outskirt?
I'm continuing on regardless. You're free to join me if you would like, but you better not. I better not be leading, you into, or I guess it wouldn't be a trap if I'm bringing you. I don't want to be leading this person or setting this person up who's going to be helping me to just be blindsided and robbed.
Don't worry, whoever it is will not be touched.
Yeah, there's no way I'm turning back to return the tome and then coming all the way back up here to get the knife and then going all the way back. Let's just repair this dagger so we can continue forth. Everybody in agreement?
Kauska's looking at the way back towards Outskirt. She's not saying anything, but she's looking that way for a minute.
You're free to stay at camp if you don't want to join us, and we can come back for you on the way back.
I pick up Kauska and hold her up so she can get a better view. Upsies?
Kickies?
No. Put it back down.
Immediately back down.
Like, nope.
Kauska looks at Geier. She follows him.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Kauska's looking at Geier because she always follows him in the end.
Geier's looking down at Kauska a little bit and looks over at Connery and then at Belthus.
He called you a little bit.
And looking over at looking at Belthus. So I'm at a bit of a loss at this point.
How so?
I have made my admissions, offered recompense, given my word that it would not happen again. And there is still open hostility.
I'm going to intervene here. I'm going to put my hands on Geier's shoulders from behind and just stoop down beside his ear and whisper, if you really want to learn magic, you're going to have to understand magic. For example, you already know that I pull my magic from nature. If you tread on nature and you, let's say, break the branch of a bush, does it not take time to heal? You're just going to have to give her time. And then pat.
Was that just loud enough for Geier, or maybe Belthus have heard that?
Belthus may have heard that, yeah.
Geier will look over at Connery and then back at Belthus.
Elvish memories are long, but he's probably not wrong of many of the folk I've met. I haven't known Lady Seer that long, but
And
I would certainly welcome your hammer at my side, and I trust you to do the right thing when we return to Outskirt. You've had one, error that I found a little shocking, but I trust you to make things right.
then we will continue as is. I would ask at some point if you could perhaps speak with your lady seer. And while I understand she will be upset with me for however long she deems necessary, perhaps dial down the overt hostility, as it may impact others beyond myself.
Understood,
She wants
Sir
to
Matt.
berate me on her own time when no one is around, and between the two of us, she is welcome to try.
Denumeral now schedules into the Google Calendar of the party. Meeting between Geier and her. Berate you on my own time.
Definitely won't forget this.
And kind of presumably it sounds like this was a conversation kind of between the three of them after the initial back and forth between Denumeral and Geier. I don't know, maybe I'm messing around with the map. But before going out, I would kind of stomp back to Geier and say, can't you just make amends without trying to make a bargain or a deal? Why do I have to give you my ancestral magic in exchange for you just doing what you should be doing in the first place? And what any one of us would do, which is apologize and make things right. Why do I have to give you anything in exchange for that?
Gary's gonna look at Denumeral like she is batshit crazy. What are you even talking about, woman? I have already told you that when we return to Outskirt, I will be returning the book to him and making reparations to him.
So then why do I
offered you
have to...
a separate deal that would allow you to take possession of said grimoire until we returned. It would be in your possession the entire time, your care, safe as an elven baby in an orcish mouth.
It's not safe. But okay, I see what you mean.
That was the deal I proffered you. It had nothing to do with making reparations to Hathamal.
And also not stealing from the teacher we're going to right now. But I think we'll be fine.
I'll just give a little bit of a nod and not say anything.
Casca huffs and gets on the cart.
I guess I'll be pathfinding. Who's driving?
Well, for this, because the way, really the only way to continue this journey is to follow the river. There's not really, you guys aren't going to be able to, the mountains with the wagon are going to be it's going to be too difficult. So basically following this river the rest of the way is going to be your best way. So I'm not going to make you make Pathfinder rolls for this. I'm just going to have, you guys are just following the river as closely as you can, because if you go too far off of it, you're gonna get stuck with the cart, or you're gonna have damage to the cart, or it's just not, the road is not passable here. There is no road, so it's gonna be difficult for you. But if you guys are okay with it, I would like to kind of fast forward, because in the next 2 days of travel, I don't have anything planned for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's anything that you guys want to do, you can, or we can just go ahead and we can fast forward till something I have planned does happen. Yes, Connery,
Yeah. Oh.
in the back.
What in the back? What heroic ability did Geier pick up, if any?
Let me see what it's called again. Magic talent.
Okay, so you did open yourself to learning magic.
Yep. That's what the dice chose for me.
Okay, so given the fact that it's 2 days worth of travel, and it takes a shift for a teacher to raise a skill by 1, could I potentially teach Geier? But then he would be set with animism. That would be a decision you would have to make.
It takes a week to learn a new school of magic.
Yeah.
Well, not with the heroic ability. Like, he has to start with a school of magic. He just hasn't decided one yet.
Oh, wait, that's a thing?
Really?
Is that the way that
He
works?
picked up the heroic ability, so
I think he
That's
still.
the one I got.
I think he
also.
still has to learn it. Even if you get the heroic ability, I think it said something in there about you still having to do what it took to learn it. Unless that was specific to the spells.
Magic talent. You have an aptitude for magic, and you can learn a new school of magic.
And
Yeah.
can learn a new school of magic, whether you already know any or not. Spells need to be learned separately. For more information on how it works, see page 61. Heroic ability can be selected multiple times. So if you go to page 61, because it says you can learn a new school of magic.
Yeah.
So when you go 61 to see what it takes to learn it, learning magic.
Yeah,
Or
there
at
it is,
least
yeah.
a week.
Schools of magic. You can learn additional schools of magic by first acquiring the heroic ability magic talent,
And then studying under a teacher.
studying under a teacher with a skill level in that school for at least a week. So yeah, you have to take the talent and then you have to get the training. That's the only thing I don't like about that heroic ability. Is most of the other heroic abilities you just get. But this one you actually have to have, like, there's a story element to it, and you have to go in and mechanically, like, put in the time to actually get that heroic ability.
I guess that's a decision Geier would have to make if you want 2 days out of the 7 days of training. But
And then you
once
also have
again,
to-
that would be towards.
And
the
you have to make a
school.
roll at the end to even get
Right.
to even succeed. If not, you have to do another week of study.
Yeah, why not? If Tanumal said that she didn't feel she'd be able to, so yeah, if Connery made that offer, then Geier would take him up on it and spend a couple of days learning.
So on the road, Connery would be training you.
Well, let me ask this, Connery: do you know animalism? Do you know general magic as well, or just animism?
General magic doesn't count as a school. Like, it's just.
If you get
General
animism,
magic.
then you can take spells from the general and
From
cast
general?
them
Oh, okay.
with your
Yeah.
animism ability. Yeah, general is just a pool of spells that any spellcaster can pull from.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then we'll take a couple of days learning animism from
Okay.
Connery.
Mark down that you got 2 days of study under Connery as you guys are on the road.
Since you're a duck, I'm gonna teach you bird song.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Very nice. Very nice. So, after these last 2 days of travel, you guys can actually hear the sound of water ahead of you, and you can hear the waterfall not too far from you ahead as you're beginning to approach what would be on this map your destination. Now another sound starts to ring out. One is a little strange. It sounds like a mixture between a whale and a honk, as you hear something in the distance. It's coming from behind you. And who here what awareness is tied to what ability?
Intelligence?
That's gonna be intelligence.
Who has the highest intelligence out of this party?
I have 15.
15.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably
Yeah.
to numeral.
I have
I
15.
I think we're both
15
tied.
Calcica? Okay. You guys all three are tied with 15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
As
guys
far as
would,
awareness, I only have an 8.
so
I have
you
15.
15
Yeah,
awareness. So you guys with everybody who has the highest kind of intelligence, you guys would probably like catch on to this first and slowly like turn around. And you're not in a completely open area, so there are some trees in the way and some hills and other things. But all of a sudden you see this silhouetted image start to come, silhouetted figure start to come up over, and it's a flying figure. And you can notice that it's a rather kind of like large, big winged bird that's flying in the sky. And then there's 3 smaller, what look to be like bird type creatures, but they look really odd from this distance. And they're kind of like swirling around, almost they're in pursuit of this larger bird. And eventually they disappear behind some trees and you can't see them again, but you can still hear like the honking and wailing. And then all of a sudden, flying over top of you very quickly, you can see what appears to be a massive goose or swan. Something like that flies over top of your head, honking and wailing in this almost like panicked sense. And you can see, those of you as you're watching, you guys are all seeing this now. These 3 figures are like flapping wings, and feathers are falling off of them, and they're squawking towards this thing. Ah, it's mine! It's my tasty treat! Tasty treat! And they're like swarming around, and they fly by so quickly. And they disappear behind some trees, going in the same direction you guys were headed. What do you guys do?
Or
No.
anything like Thunderbirds? Or...
Yes.
Wait. Pause.
The one looked like a swan. The other one, they almost looked like
We're talking.
little humanoid creatures that arms
Okay.
had wings on them, and they had like talony legs that were kind of hanging off them.
One of those.
Beast lore or myths and legends? What are you gonna make me roll to try to figure out if I know what that is?
Yeah.
Beast lore would be a good roll. You could roll beast lore if you'd like to see if you've ever heard or seen anything like this.
I'm probably not gonna get it. Nope, I don't get it. I'm not pushing it for the sake of that. Conry knows what it is. Belthus knows what it is.
Conry and Belthus would know that.
Now,
Cuscus can't see over the rock.
this interaction, the bird flying, well, the larger
Yeah.
one flying. Wow, thank you. The larger one flying over. Would you say it took 15 minutes? Like, could I have casted Animal Whisperer while
Wouldn't take 15
you know
minutes.
I'm reaching? I'm still
Yeah.
trying to make the spell work for me.
It's pretty quick. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that was a harpy.
The 3 in pursuit were harpies for sure. And
Okay.
both Belthus and Conry, you may have had some experience with these things in the past, especially Belthus. To be honest, harpies covet treasures, trinkets, and for some reason they have an infatuation with things that are made of metal. So you've probably been accosted by harpies a couple of times as they tried to pull your plate mail and your helmet. One probably like tried to tug your helmet right off your head at one point, and you had to put it down.
Like, the trick is to shoot him out of the sky.
You would know,
Sold.
Belthus. You get
That's
kind of
effective.
frustrated with them because they fly all the time and they don't get close enough into sword range usually for you.
We best be cautious. We could hunt them.
Well,
Why are
it
they going
seems that
after
they're
a
going in
swan?
the same direction.
Why would they hurt a swan?
Haven't you ever had roast goose?
Cuscus just slowly turns to look at Mr. Geier.
Like, yeah, wait a second, you're a goose.
I am gonna swap out for my bow from. I'll stow
Cuscus
the fiend crusher.
Fiend Crusher. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you swap out to the bow. Okay.
Cuscus takes out a bow.
That wailing is getting farther and farther away. It's in the distance now. You guys can They're having a hard time hearing it. as
Call it, Mr.
continues.
Geier.
Wait, give me 15 minutes.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I'm gonna look at Beltis since we both have knowledge of what it is and suggest, shall we go rescue that creature?
Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Let's.
Yeah, foes, join us.
Want to go get my
Away.
bow now?
Strike dramatic pose. All right, so you guys are charging forward, following the.
Beltis is gonna
The
keep up with
harpies
Connery,
and-
whatever Connery's doing here.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
running.
And as you approach, you guys run, and you guys can hear the water of the waterfall getting louder and louder. And then all of a sudden, you reach the edge of the tree line of the little part of the forest that you guys were running through to get to this point. And you kind of skid to a halt as you can see this massive waterfall coming from the edge of the mountain. This kind of like ravine that's in the mountainside. You can see that the waterfall kind of pours over the edge and creates this misty area of water that just keeps on. It's almost looks like a large. It's not like a lake, but almost like the water is a larger area here that kind of leaks into the river as it starts to move its way down. You can see that swan starts to do kind of like a nosedive towards the edge of the land where you guys are on. But as it does, the wings start to morph and change. And before it gets within maybe like 2 feet from hitting the ground, you can see that its wings have become arms. And what used to be a swan-like head has transformed into a more human-looking type head with long brown beautiful hair. And you can see that the what used to be a swan now looks like a kind of slender tall woman, and it hits the ground, and she hits the ground and rolls a couple of times, and you can see that she was already badly hurt at this moment with these creatures in pursuit. And then it seems like these harpies are continuously like dive bombing and harassing as this woman hits the ground, transforming.
Taking my
out
helmet
of
off
this-
real quick.
Okay.
Helmet off.
We're still in the tree line, and they haven't noticed us yet.
They don't seem to. Yeah, they don't. They're not paying attention to you. They're just
How
swarming.
far are we?
I'll take you to a new map.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's reckless and
Well, I want to run in and try to backstab and assassin one of them, if I can catch them while they're dive bombing.
Let me see if it'll let me.
And Geier would be following right behind because I can't do anything range. So I'm going to try to take her to
now
woman.
does the backstab.
Can you guys see?
Backstab works no
We're-
matter
we're-
what. It's assassin that I need to get them without them seeing me first.
Right.
So while they're distracted
So,
with her, I have to run in.
but does that prevent Connery from being reckless, or can I still be reckless, have their attention, and you assassin them?
I think it works slightly better if they know no one's after them at the moment. It's up to Michael. It's
Well,
fine. If it doesn't work, it's fine. I
It's
feel
gonna
like I don't
be
have to look.
it's gonna be incredibly hard to sneak up on them.
Yeah,
And,
there's nothing to hide behind, so it's probably
and-
not going to work.
and with these particular creatures, they're in the air, and I think in order to like use your assassinate, you have to make a sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think you can do sneak attack with a ranged. I think it said
No, I
something
was
about it
hoping
has
that
to
if
be
you-
a
as
melee.
they were like swarming her on the ground.
Because
I
it's
would
kind
be
of
able-
like a coup de grace rule kind of thing,
Yeah.
like you sneaking
So-
up behind
so-
somebody and then
So forget it. Let's just run.
I
Hey,
can
Run
double
and
check
so what
that
my
one.
question- Well, my
no, I think
question
you're
was,
right.
is
It's
since my
definitely I need a
weakness,
sneak up thing, but I was hoping that it would be
This-
distracted enough. But there's nothing to even hide behind on here, so I'm just saying. Once I see there's nothing to
It's
hide behind,
pretty
that's what's
open
like,
here.
but-
Yeah, she landed in a pretty
Right.
open area.
well, what I was saying is since Connery is reckless and him and Beltis seem to be going to be the dashing heroes that they attempt to be, we would go in first. Would that create enough of a diversion for Kalska to then come from a different angle.
No, it has to
Well,
be like completely unawares.
They
Like,
have to be
can't even know there's any attack.
Yeah.
Mm.
With the
So
sneak
if you're
attack
even
rolls,
distracting them, they know that there's a problem.
and they're currently like swarming this other creature, so they're currently in combat already. So they're gonna
so
be
they're already
high. They're gonna be
already
high alert anyway. Regardless.
Let's
But
just
what I
kill 'em.
will do is I'm gonna go ahead and do an initiative order. But
wait a second.
But I'm gonna let you
Sneak
all.
attack can be performed with a ranged weapon. It says.
It can. Okay.
It says it can be done with both ranged and melee weapons, but never during active combat. Okay, so
Well-
us rushing in would ruin it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
they're
you still
they're
have
already
to
in active
combat
combat
anyway.
anyway.
They're in active
Okay.
combat, yeah.
They're kind of in active combat against this other entity.
fine.
So that's kind of like a GM discretion
Oh.
thing, I think.
Hold on. I stopped reading too soon. In parentheses, except with the backstabbing heroic ability, which she does have.
Huh.
So
Fascinating.
it's only active combat, except with the backstabbing heroic ability.
Michael,
Your sneak attack.
That's
deal
you.
with-
I have to roll really well on stealth anyway.
This is
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your stealth, because you have to roll stealth in order to do this anyway, right? Yeah, you succeed. So I'm gonna let you do it. Go ahead.
Okay. I would, since I'm running up, I would have changed out in the run to
And- It wouldn't be low enough for you to be able to stab it with a knife.
then I will shoot it.
Okay. Yeah, these are always flying. They're when they dive bomb, they're like just scooping and then right back up, like 12 to 15 feet above you guys.
So that gives me, it's, if I hit with the bow, it would be 3d10 if I hit. I hit.
You hit. So you can roll your 3d10 damage. Because they don't even get to dodge this,
22
I don't think.
Plus my agility bonus d4. Right? Yeah. 26.
26. Kalsika, you guys watch as Kalsika just kind of like drifts up with the bow and just goes, and one just immediately just squawks and just some feathers fly off and it goes and smacks onto the ground.
Nice shot.
And Kalsika will then, she keeps the bow in one hand but pulls out the dagger with the other and goes to kind of like stand in front of the woman a little bit, or I used a good amount of my movement, so I'm gonna get a little closer to her, just so I'm another target and kind of trying to get closer because I know Belthus is coming too. And I'm like, here. And that's my.
The tank is behind you. All right,
I've caused a problem.
I'm gonna shuffle these initiative cards, and we're gonna go ahead and deal them out.
I got to feel something. I feel better.
One shot it.
One shot it. You could have killed two of them. I'm
Need
gonna
to split my arrow.
add a turn for everybody here.
Ooh.
And let me go ahead and deal these out. Let's deal cards in certain order.
Hey, there we go.
That's kind of funny.
Nice.
Oh no, poor harpies. Wait a minute.
Yay.
Actually, you know what? They actually
Uh-oh.
have an additional turn.
Oh.
So let me. What cards are available?
I think it doubled everybody up.
1,
Oh,
3,
it did double
6.
everybody up.
9.
Why did it do that? Oh, because I still have the other token selected, probably. Let me go ahead and get rid of your doubles. Let me see if it'll
Oh
let me.
no.
Let me see if it'll
My
just let
twin.
me deal one without.
Connery Jr., come back.
I wonder if it'll let me deal one without changing them all. Can everybody do me a favor? Can you guys remember what your card numbers are? Can you guys see your
Yep.
turn orders? Just remember what these are in case it changes out. I have a feeling it's gonna.
Is this your card?
I have a
Horrible
feeling
magic
it's gonna
tricks.
be. It's gonna be. gonna give me-
4 parts.
It's making me shuffle them, so I bet you it's gonna screw it up.
Oh,
Yep, it did.
hey,
I
I'm
figured.
still up there. Like,
Okay, who had So Belthus had 2.
Yep.
No,
I
this
had
said
4, but
Connery
Connery
three
had
is
4.
3 is the same. Yeah,
I
but
had 8, so I'm not
Yeah.
that far off.
Kalsika
I
had
had-
8. Okay.
Wait, were we supposed to remember the number or the
Remember
order?
the number
we
you
were in?
had.
Numeral was 5.
To numeral was 5. Okay.
Geier
Figured.
was 7.
Geier was 7. Okay.
And the
And
Harpies
the-
were
Kalsika was 8.
Yeah.
And the original Harpies was 10.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. And Geier 7, Kalsika 8. And I'm gonna say that
Well, then you
they're gonna have that. There we go. Belthus.
Didn't the other harpy just get 1?
Yeah, I
I-
was about to say, did you want 1 and 10?
Because one of them was a 10 originally, I kept the 10.
Alrighty.
So,
So
Belthus, you're up first. What would you like to do? As you
Nice.
just saw Kalsika snuck right up there and just one arrow.
I'm jealous of that beautiful shot. Belthus, not wearing a helmet, by the way, because I need to be able to see these things. So I'm less armored than usual. Belthus is going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and move up beside this being. And I'll tell it, "Don't worry, we're on your side." And I'll take out my bow and fire at the far one over here.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
So this is short bow. I hope I set this up right.
That hits.
Alrighty, for 7 damage.
7 damage. The arrow strikes true. You put an arrow through its leg. Some feathers fly off of it. It squawks and it looks at you with these bright kind of like red eyes as it's staring towards you now. Its tension is on the armored figure now, looming over top of this woman laying on the ground. And
I'm gonna get it, Metal Stealer.
the woman just kind of like looks back up at you and can barely like say anything. It looks like she's just badly hurt.
I'll tell the others that she looks hurt. And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Connery, what do you want to do?
Do we lose Tinny?
Something happened with her camera.
Yeah, it's
My back hurts, so I'm just trying to figure out like how I'm gonna be sitting here right now.
Oh, okay.
And I
Okay.
didn't feel like the camera needed to see me like wobbling it all over.
I don't know. It looked pretty cool when you were like turning around. I was like getting dizzy.
Yeah,
Let's see
that's
here.
like
And then all of a sudden, MG stopped moving, so we all thought you lost your connection.
2, 3, 4, 5,
There you go.
6. For this one, diagonal to me. Since I won that roll for beast lore, I do know that a harpy is not a demon, correct?
Yeah, you would know that they're just some kind of
Okay.
abomination.
No. So banish and purge would not be effective with them. I am going to. You said Kalsika pulled out her daggers, correct?
Yeah, she shot with her bow, but then when she got like onto like closer to the woman, she has her dagger in one hand.
Okay, so let's contest a my staff to your evade. I'm gonna try to topple. That way,
the harpy is
not you.
flying like 15 feet
flying.
ahead of you or above you, so
Above me.
out of
Okay.
range of your staff currently.
I don't. Okay, yeah, toppling midair doesn't make sense anyway. Like, oh, you knocked me over. We
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll!
do a barrel roll.
Oh my gosh. It's like,
We're in each other's heads.
I'm gonna give it a go with the short bow that I have from our Goblin Adventures, but it is not promising. So here we go. Not really willing to push it, so I'm just gonna say that I horribly trained with the bow. Try to pull it out and just arrow ends up going left with the harpies to the right. Oh.
Yeah, the harpy kind of dips underneath and the arrow goes flying off in the distance. And, tasty treat! And starts flapping towards you, Connery.
Oh, joy.
It's a numeral. You're up next.
Would Tenumeral recognize, like, what the swan lady creature is?
I don't know. Numeral probably had never come into contact with anything like this before. Probably. I mean,
Would you have ever heard of it?
make a either beast lore or myths and legends.
Okay. So she'd succeed on myths and legends.
Okay, you might have heard stories of fair maidens that were able to transform into swans in the past. You probably have. They were probably more like, kind of like tall tales that you've heard. Nothing really like coming from somebody who's actually like seen one, or just some stories being told.
Okay. Am I within range of this harpy on the left here? Let's see. Range 30. I always forget how much the range is on the bows. Okay, so she's gonna roll it to try to aim and hit the harpy on the left.
Okay. Sure.
And that succeeds.
That looks good, yeah. All right, you can go ahead and roll your damage.
What is it again? D10?
Yep.
Plus bonus.
And then the D4.
Eight damage.
All right.
So this arrow comes flying out, and Belthus, you just put an arrow into that one. And it is looking at you, and it doesn't quite see the arrow from Tenumeral coming over, and it strikes it right in the side, and you guys hear a squawk, and this harpy goes flying and splashes into the water. And
Everyone else stealing the glory.
Tenumeral, you staying put?
She would approach, like, maybe over here.
Okay. Geier, you're up.
Okay, well, Geier, seeing that Belthus and Tenumeral and everyone seems to be gravitating towards the woman on the ground, would use some of his movement and to get right up here by Connery. And upon getting close, is going to pull out that massive hammer again. And it's going to start winding up and just, with a shout of, try to wing it straight up at the harpy.
You try to throw the massive hammer? Okay.
Yep.
You will do so with the Bane.
Connery, I apologize in advance.
Like, gravity sucks. So what comes up?
So, I'm going to use my ill-tempered ability and get angry
Okay.
to push the roll.
Go for it.
Nope.
Okay. That hammer goes flying, and it doesn't really even, like, the harpy doesn't even have to dodge it. It just kind of goes, over top and... Impressive enough that you, like, threw over, like, you missed over the harpy.
Good arm.
I mean, you throw as good as I shoot, so...
It does, like, a
Both in the same
perfect
boat
arc,
here.
and then slams into the ground, denting the ground, and sticks kind of into the ground a little bit on the other side.
Well, that didn't work. Damn it.
Calcica, that would bring us up to you.
I will try shooting it again.
Okay.
Or the last one.
Sure. Another hit.
And that's I'm not adding anything to this. It's just a 4 plus, so 6 points of damage to the last one.
6 points of damage with a squawk of pain. It strikes true into the side of the harpy. The harpy's still flying around up there, and Kalsika, you see the harpy kind of flying with a little bit of an awkward. If you know how you see a bird with an injured wing or something like that, it's kind of fluttering around awkwardly, and immediately kind of bolts off in the other direction towards the
immediately calls
forest.
After it, "We have gold."
I'll get it some other time. And it flies off and disappears into the forest. And I'm gonna take you guys out of initiative order.
What a lame-o.
Aaron's gonna walk over and get his hammer and.
Hello, and thank you so much for hanging out with us here at Proficiency Bonus. Please take an opportunity to support our sponsors.
First up is Little Dragon Corp. Little Dragon Corp is an online storefront based in the Great White North of Canada. They sell everything your heart could desire, so long as everything your heart desires is largely polyhedral dice sets and other TTRPG sundries. Check them out for all of your dicey needs. Perhaps buy a lovely hardcover copy of one of these fine books. If you're feeling especially cute, you could treat yourself to a t-shirt or one of these fine little proprietary Little Dragon Corp dragon plushies. They've got all the classic types of dragon, like Mooney, Terra, Dad. Whatever strikes your fancy over on Little Dragon Corp, be sure to enter our special promo code BONUS at checkout for 15% off of your order. That's BONUS, BONUS, for 15% off your order. That's like if you made 7 individual purchases, you could basically buy anything you want on the store, and it's like it was free with all the money that you saved from earlier. I'm absolutely positive that's how math works, and I will be taking no questions at this time. Thank you, Little Dragon Corp.
Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. They have a wide selection of tabletop gaming and other cool games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! You can visit them in-store and let them know that we sent you, or you can go visit their website at cardboardcastlegames.com.
Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. Links to our social media pages and outlets are located below this video.
Don't forget, you can also support the channel by following, by subscribing, remembering to click the bell notification so you never miss another live stream, using channel emotes, and if you're an Amazon Prime user, you get a free subscription to Twitch every month.
While we are away, now is a great time to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's absolutely free, and there you will find hours upon hours of content to enjoy. Click the bell icon to activate notifications so you won't miss a single show. Once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you are enjoying the show, and we'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back, everybody. Our party has just saved what they thought was a swan. It turned into a young woman as it slammed onto the ground, trying to fly away from a group of harpies that were harassing her. You guys dispatched 2 of the harpies. The other one, with an arrow put through it, decided, hey, I would like to survive. And it flew off into the forest. What do you guys do?
Is that thing going to get friends and come back?
If it does, we'll just shoot them again.
Mm-hmm.
I
Does this
tried
creature
that,
need
but I
medicine?
missed.
What'd you say, Belthus?
Does this creature here need medical attention?
I mean, I
Probably.
can try, but I'm not very good at it.
Kalska's just looking at the tree line for anything to come back.
Okay.
Geier's going to try to tend to this creature's wounds.
Okay. Let me double check healing rolls, because technically this creature isn't at 0 hit points.
Oh.
So she is still awake and conscious, but just badly injured.
Oh, okay.
You know, grab it.
Looks
Are
like
you okay?
It looks like, as you're doing that, guy, it looks like Connery's walking over and healing the woman.
So healing, like, regularly with bandages, or just to save someone from, like, a death?
Yeah, it's just to kind of like stop, like stabilize someone. So you can't really do that
Yeah.
without magic or some other means of healing.
Well, you can do it. It just won't benefit them.
Right, yeah. You
Geier
just,
would wrap somebody up in bandages like a mummy that we thought it would help, because healing ain't my strong point.
no, and as Connery places his hand on this woman, she's startled at first, but then you guys can see that the magic takes place and most of the wounds close up. There still is visible traces of some of the wounds, so it didn't heal her 100%, but she looks much better and gazes upon all you like she's just laying there. She's probably about as tall as you, and she looks elven. She does have this what almost seems like it's either paint or some kind of pigment or a tattoo that kind of almost looks like this little mask that goes kind of across her face, but it's just a different color in her flesh. She kind of looks like this. As you guys see her, and I will show that to our friends at home. I'll put the map up so you guys can see that. I don't have a handout of a bigger image, but I have that image so you guys can see. And she kind of gazes up towards you, Geier, since Geier and Connery, you guys, so with casting a spell, and Geier kind of like getting bandages out for not really any reason. She
Wrapping him over one eye so she can't see.
She kind of looks up at Geier and says, You help me.
That guy's just going to sort of look around, and seeing that Belthus is real close to, be like, point at him and Connery and gesture towards Kalska and Numeral, who are a little further away. We help you.
You.
Guy's going to point at her and go, "Are you?"
My name, you.
You're me? You me?
Who's on first?
Going to point at Belthus. Belthus.
Belthus.
Connery.
Connery.
Kalsika.
Kalsika.
Numeral.
She kind of has her eyes wide for a moment. Tin.
Tinny.
Elvish names aren't that hard.
Tinu is okay.
You get the hint that she's having trouble with the ones that have more than a couple of syllables.
And then Geier will grab Geier.
Geier. Thank you.
Merle would be looking like in awe at this creature. Probably noticeably so to her party members.
Can you say
She kind of looks towards you. Oh, did you actually make that sound?
yeah?
You quacked like a duck. She looks at you and says, she doesn't, like, she's not smiling. She looks at you like in all serious, like she's never, like, her expression hasn't changed towards you guys. Like, it's a very just straight face. And she looks at you and says, not like this.
Oh.
Geier's going to look at Connery.
What? It was a legitimate question. She was a swan.
No, I was actually agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you took offense, swan duck.
This is your thing.
No, I think this is an animal
Your
that's
people.
suddenly turned into an elf.
She's a
Or-
swan maiden. Haven't you ever heard of swan maidens?
When Tinny says Swan Maiden, can I roll my own Myths and Legends roll?
Sure. Either Myths and Legends, or you could even include, you can even roll Beast Lore if you want.
No.
Can I make a Myths and Legends check here? on that?
Anybody who'd like to, yes, since now it's becoming part of the conversation, sure.
Nope.
I understand.
Do you know what you mean? Those women who throw their arms out
Part
when
of
they
me,
jump off
part of me
cliffs?
understood.
I've heard tales of swan maidens in my clan, but we haven't seen any in I don't know how long. They've become like legends. They're powerful, wonderful, majestic creatures who can... elves who can become swans. No one knows quite why. I think. Did I get that right, Michael?
Yeah, probably to numeral what you would know with a successful like roll and everything is like this is extremely rare. Like you're probably looking at probably the only one you're ever going to see in your lifetime, possibly, and you're an elf.
It's a pretty big lifetime.
So they're extremely rare, and that there's not a single person that believes they know exactly where swan maidens come from. But some of the myths around them they are either some kind of divine blessing or some kind of demonic curse. Most of the time, they believe that demonic cursed creatures like this would turn out to look kind of like dark feathered swans, whereas more divine or celestial kind of natured, good-natured versions of this creature would be white feathered swans.
And she's a white one?
Yeah, she had white
we saw.
feathers. Yeah, that you saw.
Yeah, Tanumra will just be like in awe, in reverie. She would probably ask, is this where you're from? Where you live?
Yes. Lived here for many, many years.
Have you always been like this?
For as long as I can remember.
Have you ever seen any others?
Others like you? And she points to herself when she says that.
Yes,
Uh,
elves who can turn into swan.
She just starts slowly shaking her head no. No. Never.
Denumeral may sort of like bow to this creature.
It's weird. Like you guys get like this awkward moment between each other where it seems like you doesn't know what to do and bows back.
Watching that, you can hear Geier sort of sigh in frustration a little bit, just like.
Geier,
Hey.
with your natural ability to like, with your insight ability, I'm not even gonna make you like spend any points for this. You just have a feeling like this woman just doesn't really talk a lot to people and is pretty socially awkward. Like, just doesn't really know how to socially engage with people and respond, and just very considerate and thankful that you guys came when you did.
Can you fix crystal weapons?
Yeah.
That's not the person we're looking for, Mr. Geier. We're looking for Takata, not for you.
As you say Takata, her eyes go immediately towards you, Kelsey.
Do you know where Takata is?
She shakes her head yes.
Hey, you.
Help us find Takata?
It looks like she is thinking, like her eyes like trail up to the sky, and it's like looking like she's really like deeply pondering, and then she looks at all you and says, "Seek my master to repair something."
And
Yes.
maybe learn.
Repair
Your master?
Master Tetsu.
I'm
How
just
is
gonna
he-
cut in.
Show her
Hey.
the knife.
Hey, you. Why don't you not you. Why don't you show her the broken knife? Show you the broken knife. Just pull it out. Show her the knife. Connor's getting frustrated. Yeah. Show her your broken knife. Why couldn't she have a more simpler name?
Before pulling out her knife, Denumeral would ask, what do you mean by master?
That's part of his name. Master Tetsu.
Does he look after you?
She kind of shakes her head no a little bit and says, "You look after Master Tetsu."
Hmm.
Like a guardian?
She kind of shakes her head yes to that.
Like a servant?
Kauska goes over and sits down next to you on the ground since she hasn't gotten up, right?
Yeah, she's kind of just like sitting there with you guys and kind of just has her like knees up like this and is just like sitting with her arms on her knees like that.
Kauska mirrors her but swings her bag around
Mhm.
and in true Kauska form reaches in her bag and pulls out a sweet roll and holds it out to you.
You reaches out and grabs it. "Thank you," and starts munching on the sweet roll.
Denumeral would have also like gotten on the ground before when bowing if you had been on the ground and hadn't been standing. So she'd pull out her dagger that was chipped to show her as well after Kalsika pulled out the sweet roll.
Okay. She sees you pulling it out and sees the pieces, and you get the hint like she doesn't really know anything about what you're asking, but looks at you, and as she's munching on this sweet roll says, "I can take you to see Master Tetsu. Just beyond the falls."
All right.
You have to swim.
Oh, that's gonna be a problem.
Geier jumps in the water.
Calvin jumps right next to Geier.
So they just immediately just jump in the water and she's still sitting there. It's, woohoo!
Is it cold?
Oh, yeah, this is water coming directly from like the mountain peaks, so it's still cold, like freezing cold whenever it gets down here.
Is Belthus leaving his armor on, I wonder, or
Belthus is gonna take off his plate mail and stow it away because plate mail is not gonna be good in this scenario. So he is completely unarmored right now, just wearing like clothes.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, while he's stripping down, I'm just gonna, and I guess Geier and Kalska are both taking a nosedive, and the rest of this conversation is going on. I am gonna take the opportunity to catch 3 rations of fish. I got water. Might as well do it.
I love it.
Yeah, you actually pull out a nice sized fish from here. As you're fishing alongside, and you just cast a line. You got a bite, while Kalsika and Geier are kind of jumping in the chilly water, getting themselves bodies accustomed to the cold. Well, Geier, is probably not that chilly for you with your.
I think I'm a nice downy protection.
Oh yeah, you got your protection,
right.
yeah.
I don't think ducks get wet.
So
The numeral would lift the bandages out of her pocket and like hold them above the water so they don't get wet. And her grimoire.
So the maiden Yu jumps into the water and dives in with just this elegance to her as she just. It's almost like she dives in like an Olympic diver to where they don't even make like just a bit of splash, and it's just perfection. And she comes up out of the water, her hair kind of drenched and pulled down over her shoulders, and she looks back at you guys over her shoulder, and she just looks this way, and she starts swimming towards the waterfall, like directly to it.
All right, I'd follow.
I was gonna swim right along next door.
And the way swimming works in this game is you can like it's assumed that adventurers can all swim decently. I believe in the rule book it says that you swim like half your speed. I think that's what the rule is. But
Not for me.
Not for a mallard. A mallard and I think a mallard gets like a boon to all swimming rules, I think. So, but what I'm going to have you guys do, because what she does is she looks at you all and says, "Hold your breath and follow me." And she ducks under the water and ducks and looks like she's swimming under the waterfall. So I'm going to need you guys to make a swimming roll to see how successful you are, as this water is coming from the top and kind of churning under here like crazy.
Ooh.
Can I try to help
Whoa!
Kalska along?
A dragon.
Oh my god.
But you had to, you got a dragon. Look at that, Conry.
Okay, he's doing good. Can I push my swimming roll? Wait, what happens if I fail? Do I drown?
You don't know.
I think you just have a hard time.
Belthus is
little
pushing. He's
known
getting
fact.
angry at all the water going in his mouth here.
It's a little known fact, but a wolfkin
I'm like
is a master of the
Baby
doggy
duck
paddle.
as I follow Geier because I got a
Belthus
2.
is still failing his swimming roll.
Yeah,
huh?
still feeling him after the push.
Yeah, I failed mine also.
Did you push it,
So-
or are you gonna?
Well,
Conry?
I don't.
What happens if you don't?
Yeah.
Swimming is on page 53. I will find out.
Yeah, you get a bane if you're wearing chainmail or plate armor, but he already took it off.
Took it off, yeah.
You can stay afloat. The only time you have to roll for that is
If your roll
longer
fails, you
than a
begin to
stretch.
drown.
Yeah, so I don't want to
Take it
drown.
easy. Okay. Here's what you guys. Here's what's gonna happen. Those of you that failed your swimming roll, basically the water is just immense and it's pushing on you, and you guys just, for some reason, the other ones had found like a way to get through where the currents weren't so heavy, but you guys have gotten to a point where the current just overtakes you and you get pushed down a little bit too far. Some of you actually like hitting your head on like a few rocks down below. So you guys both take 5. Well, here, I'll do who failed first? Belthus?
Me.
Well, to numeral, you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Belthus is going to take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. And
no armor.
As you guys get, you take it all because your armor is there to protect you. And then immediately you guys feel something grab your arms, and you feel the pressure of somebody's hand like wrap around you. And you guys are being pulled both from one arm to the other by the Swan Maiden Yu, as she grabs you and starts to pull you out of the current, and you guys can see yourself starting to come up out of the water, where the rest of you would already be safe coming out of the water before them. And you can see as they pop out of the water, Numeral has like a cut on her head, and Belthus is probably like comes up
Banged
coughing
up.
a little bit because when he got banged up, he probably swallowed some water in the process.
Ooh.
I think my bandages got wet.
But yeah, definitely. But
Right,
you
those out.
looks at both
Wait,
of
we
you
can just
and
leave them out to dry.
says, "Are you okay?"
I've been better.
Must be careful. Master Tetsu's secret place.
Thank
And
you.
as she's
for
saying
giving
this,
us-
as she's saying this to you with my dragon roll, I'm just doing a backstroke right by.
Yes, showing off and impressing everybody with your dragon roll. That's right. So basically what you guys see is you guys see a opening. It's not exactly like a cave, as more of like an area that looks like it's been it's not like it's not like this like little cave opening that you guys go through. It's almost like an open chamber back here. And there is a green glow that seems to be coming from moss on different locations as you look in, and it gets darker as it goes inside. Looks like it goes several meters in, and you can see like stalagmites along the ground in different areas with moss attached to it that seems to have this little green glow to it. It's permeating this light within inside, and you can see that some of these stalagmites actually kind of climb all the way up to where they like connect like pillars to stalactites on the top of the ceiling. When it looks like it gets kind of dark and it's hard to see like the features inside, you kind of swims close to the ledge and kind of pulls herself up onto this rocky ledge that's covered in some of this green moss, and starts to like reach out her hand to help you guys get out of the water as well, as the water is dripping off of her. And she, if you guys are willing to take her hand, she kind of pulls you guys out. Water just kind of pouring off of you guys as you get out of the cold, brisk water that you guys have just been swimming in. And she points up, and it's kind of like some natural ledges that lead up. They're not exactly steps, and they're short ledges. Like, they're not very big step. It's just annoying enough that you got to pick up your feet so you don't trip and fall and make a fool out of yourself.
I'd probably have to hop a little.
So how enclosed is this area? Like, is
You're
it
in an
tight
enclosure.
enclosure?
Like, yeah, you're in an enclosure, but it's not like a small like cave. It's more of like this large opening that the waterfall
Okay.
does
So we
conceal,
can
but you can kind of see inside.
we can spread out a little. Like,
Oh yeah, you can spread out. Yeah.
okay. Now, I guess the next question is, how many people are near Connery when we get out of the water?
Geier's probably.
Yep, you
fairly
already
near
know, Belvis.
Geier is probably somewhat near you.
All right. I'm gonna do
being
the doggy water toss.
Bellis is right there.
Just water goes everywhere.
Oh, the water.
Kalska would get it, and then she would also shake off like a dog too, just because that's what she does. She's like, "You want to do it to me? I'll do it right back."
Tanumura would try to sidestep that.
Roll
white
for evade.
The Swan Maiden you looks at all of you as you get up out of the water and says, and kind of gestures up these small ledges and says, Master Tetsu, always very busy learning. This way, and she starts to kind of walk up the way of the ledge. And the moss is like illuminating everything like enough that you guys can kind of see, but like all the edges of your view is kind of dark just because it's very low light.
I guess the first thing that's going through Connery's mind right now is, what kind of being is this master that she would live in a dark, dank cave?
Are you asking her that, or are you just thinking?
No, I'm just I'm thinking while venturing deeper into the lair.
Well, you don't get too far when you reach like the top ledge. It's not like like I said, it's not like a cave where you go on forever. Like it seems like it just goes into this one chamber and then ends. And ahead of you, you see a short figure wearing some kind of long robe. It looks maybe, it's hard to tell the color, but it looks like maybe like a tan or brown robe. Looks like they have pretty wild, shambled, kind of like gray hair upon their head, but you're seeing the back of them. They're holding a staff in their hand, and that staff has a gemstone or some kind of white jewel like gripped in the top of the staff, and it is illuminated. It's glowing. And you guys can see as you approach and see there is a massive, what looks to be stylized face of something carved into the wall of this place. Its mouth is agape, and on its nose it's got this really strange pointed horn. It almost looks like has like frog type eyes, and the frog type eyes are like a few meters off the floor. Like this is a massive face, and you can see him just illuminating it, and you can hear he's talking to himself. And then he touches it. And he doesn't even turn around to address you. What do you do?
Ooh,
Quick clarification before anyone does anything. How tall is this figure?
Taller than you.
Well, yeah.
And
Everyone
you.
is.
Taller than you. And you. Well, no, not you. You's taller than it.
Oh no!
Sorry, I'm messing it up. You, yeah, definitely taller than Kalsika, but probably maybe a little shorter than Geier. Just a little bit.
So probably not now.
Would Tanumura recognize, or is there a roll she could make to recognize the carving on the cave wall?
Culture pattern.
I'm gonna save you from making the roll. This is baffling.
Mm-hmm.
You've never seen anything like this. Never even heard of anything like this.
Would you say this is indoors then?
Yeah, I'd count it as indoors.
Okay. Yeah, some of my spells can only be cast outdoors, so I had to ask.
Geier is going to do the crazy old man thing.
Okay.
And just very slowly start walking up, not trying to be sneaky or anything. Just sort of walk up and Oh, that's wonderful looking. What are you looking at?
I've been trying to figure it out for years. Blasted thing. There's got to be a secret here somewhere. Something I'm missing. I just can't find it.
Does it do something?
It stares at me ominously. Day after day. I feel it in the
weird
depths
big
of
eyes.
my soul. It is. Oh my. Oh. And who are you, Master Mallard?
No wonder God now, and I've forgotten what time of day it is. But good day.
Yes, good day.
My name is Geier. Geier
And
Stangente.
he turns around, seeing that there's other people behind you, Geier, and shines a light towards you brought guests. No.
Yes, you brought guests. You brought us here.
Oh, you brought you here. Ah,
Yes, you brought me.
Peculiar.
Oh boy.
You.
You said he shined light. What is his light source?
You would probably have the sense that this is a spell upon the gemstone.
Okay, but what
would Connery think?
what would I think?
Does Connery know the
understand
light?
you-
You know the light spell.
Yeah, but you said you
No.
notices. But what about me?
Connery notices it's a light spell. I'm gonna go back and change her
okay.
name now.
Oh, it's in the notes. Stop it. No changing.
All right, so I'm getting a sense that this gentleman knows magic. Then
I'm so sorry that I didn't get a chance to tidy up the place before. And you guys see an individual who looks like this. I'm going to show all you what he looks like. Show to everyone. That's him.
Oh, he's cute.
Mhm.
okay, so the spell light actually originates from a magical focus. Like, what kind of focus would you say he's holding? An amulet or?
He's half staff, right?
Well, it would be the gemstone that's in the staff.
Oh,
Is
okay.
the source that's illuminating the light. So that would be what you would believe to be his focus.
Connery would like to reach out and sort of put his palm against the gemstone and just caress it ever so lightly and just whisper, "What a beautiful amulet you have." I mean, not amulet. What a beautiful magical focus you have here.
Oh, he kind of pulls it away a little bit. It's like, well, thank you. I've had it for a very long time.
How long have you been down here?
Mm,
May I call you Master?
absolutely. Actually, I prefer it. Master Tetsu.
Master Tetsu.
Nice.
to Master Jetsu.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. Most of the time, guests aren't brought into this chamber. What?
Getting hurt. So we helped you not get hurt, and then you brought us here because
Oh, she was
need help.
she was hurt.
harpies are jerks.
Oh yes, wretched creatures.
They were attacking her.
I killed one.
Oh, well, thank you all so very much for protecting her and keeping her safe. She's been a wonderful guardian to me. She makes sure that this place stays secret and safe. She lived
How
here
did you
before
come
I
here?
found this place.
We traveled here under guidance of Dranith, right? That's his name? Dranith?
He smiles at that name. Really? I'm surprised.
he's-
I'm surprised that old man's still kicking it.
Oh, trust me, I saw him and I thought the same thing.
He's been guiding us in some of our magic learning and thought that you may be able to help me repair this. And she would pull out her dagger.
Oh. He reaches out to take it from you. If you put it in his hand, he kind of like grabs it and looks around. He's like, oh. Yes, this is broken, all right. How did it happen?
Well, glad we made the trip.
He's like awkwardly like holding it.
Sometimes would throw it at enemies to try to hit them from far away, but this one missed and hit a rock.
Seems very important.
It is. It was made by my clan before I ventured out of the mountains into the Misty Vale.
Question. If it's so important, why are you throwing it?
I didn't know what else to do to protect us, but I have better methods now. I have since obtained a bow.
Cal's
Oh.
whistling and staring at the giant frog as this is happening. She's doing everything in her power not to be snarky right now.
Geier
I'm
is
now getting
stifling a giggle. He's in the
on not
background.
being perfect, because the whole reason we're taking this detour is because Tinny broke her knife.
So Takata Tetsu is looking at it and says, I know a way to fix this.
You do? You know the old ways?
Kintsukurai is what they call it. It can mend this kind of material. If you guys have ever seen, there's an ancient art. If you search it, you'll see it. Basically, if they had broken ceramic pieces, you can use this method, and it actually mends, and it fills those cracks in with different, and they actually have the cracks as part of the actual design in the ceramic pieces and things. So it's actually like
That's
a real
the use
like
of
gold,
heat,
right?
correct?
Yeah, it's based off of the use of heat, and it's a way that they science.
Science. Now, is there anything that I could roll to? I guess in D&D it would be perception to study this grand frog face. Was it?
Yeah, you can.
That's frog eyes.
You guys can just, if you want to make an awareness roll on it, sure, that's fine. As he's kind of snooping around there, Tetsu looks at you and says, only problem is I need something to do this. Something I don't currently have. I need some... It's called glittering violamine. A very rare gemstone of sparkling purple illumination. It's beautiful, but very rare. But it can be found here in the caves of these mountains. It can be manipulated under extreme magical heat and used to harness its energies to melt the gemstone down, and therefore put your pieces back together.
And you are skilled with this magical heat?
Oh, yes. Master Tetsu's specialty.
Would you be able to train?
As soon as you say that, you see this very disappointed look come on his face. Haven't trained anyone in many years. And he kind of almost just immediately changes the subject. You get the idea that there may be something, you kind of hit a nerve with Master
This is Obi-Wan.
So as I tried the awareness, I failed, so I pushed it.
Okay.
I would say that the large frog face is actually intimidating in size, so I took the scared condition.
Oh yeah, it would probably be scared.
Second awareness roll was a success though.
You do know with that successful awareness roll that the stones that what at first looked like the eyes were just kind of dark, but as you get closer, it looks as if those eyes in the frog are these very, very smooth, like large, possibly gemstone orbs. They're very smooth, and they look like they're catching some of the glare of the glow of the moss. And you catch that, and you see it, and it looks like they are made out of something nice and smooth and shiny.
Question for the note taker.
Yeah.
How do I spell the thing he's sending us to go find, presumably?
VIOL MALINE.
Oh, I was close. Okay.
Viomaline, yep.
Second question.
Mm-hmm.
While Connery is looking at the thing overall, when he said it's like when we walked in and he was muttering to himself about it's hiding something, Kauska wants to... Can I spot hidden check this whole thing?
Sure.
There's a lot of them happening tonight.
That's another dragon roll.
Hey.
You look, you catch Connery, and you see him like raise an eyebrow towards the eyes of this guy. And you do look closer, and it's really strange because the mouth of this thing is open, and it's carved in a little bit. It's almost if it's like somebody was starting to like carve inside the mouth, and then just eventually just stopped. And then as you look up to the orbs of the eyes, you think you catch like this strange little flicker in the very center of the eyes. Like there's a little, like almost as if like these little things of like fairy dust are just kind of like swirling around, almost very tiny in the middle of the eyes.
Very high up.
Pretty high, yeah.
But Belfast and Numeral could help you get off that high. They're tall.
Well, the thing is, like, did anybody else but Kauska notice this? Because for a successful roll.
Yeah, Kauska would have probably been the only one to notice the glimmering inside. You would notice the glass, but it takes a really
I was just like,
keen
ooh,
eye
shiny
to pick up
rock.
that.
There's
Yeah.
a little glitter on the inside.
Mm.
Geier's gonna walk over, seeing that what is Master Tetsu doing currently after he sort of like brushed off Numeral's.
No, he's kind of taking the pieces of the blade and just seeing how like accurately he can like get them to line up. And just like looking in deep, he's deeper inspecting the blade and the breaks in it. And
Geier's gonna walk over and sort of like look around him a little bit while he's doing that, and lean in a little closer and in somewhat hushed tones, trying just to talk to Master Tetsu.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, we are excited to go and find the materials you mentioned you need in these caves. I couldn't help but notice your reaction, though, to my traveling companion's question. And I'm hoping that perhaps an offer of us finding some additional of that glittering material you referenced, I might be able to persuade you to consider teaching a few of us.
make a persuasion roll with a Bane.
Okay.
Golf clap, good Mallard. Golf clap.
We can also only learn one school at a time, right?
one school per heroic magic talent. You could take the magic talent multiple times.
Yeah, because I have one that I also.
And then you took another one, but you're still trying to look for your teacher, right?
Yeah, because I haven't anyone with.
I'm gonna push that
Okay.
because yeah, I'm feeling a little disheartened at the moment.
He kind of looks at you and you can tell he's got this. There's something about this. There's more to this story. You can just tell in the look. He kind of has like almost like a disappointed look on his face, and he looks at you and says, "Don't bother with the gemstone. The only reason I would need it is for this repair for you. I don't need it for myself. I don't need it. I just need it for this." And he points to the blade. But since you were so kind to my guardian, perhaps I can show you some things. But you must earn my trust first.
Can Kalska kind of hear this? Like,
Or
Well, I think
numeral?
Geier, you wanted to go
No,
away, right?
Geier specifically sort of brought this over to have the conversation.
Yep.
quietly.
Just
Well,
the
wouldn't
two
we
of them.
see him like
Talk.
whispering to this dude? Like,
Oh yeah, you can definitely see
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
over there.
they're over there talking.
I imagine we'd probably be gathering around. Like, what is Geier doing?
I would.
But you would also notice that Geier, so as he's holding Tenumeral and looking at Tenumeral's knife,
Mhm.
so if this guy's right-handed, Geier came over to the left. Wants to be away from Tenumeral's belongings, away from the
Space.
gemstone and the staff.
Yeah.
While he's trying to have a private conversation, he's also trying to be visible that he's not trying to, slip something out of this guy's pocket.
Kalska would see him doing that because she knows after the 2 days of travel and the tension in the wagon and herself not feeling great. Master Tetsu,
Yes.
I have a question and I don't want to sound like a pain in the butt about it. Can you come over here?
He's kind of gets a peculiar look on his face, but he takes the knife and just hands it back to Tenumeral for now as he's walking back over, and kind of has his illuminated staff forward looking at you, and then kind of looking in the direction of where you're looking. Yes?
I think you need to get to my level, which I don't think you've done in a long time because you're so tall.
Yeah,
And
a lot
Kalska will
shorter than I
step
used to be.
Kalska will step out of the exact spot she was standing and help maneuver him, and will carefully angle his head, hoping he can see what she saw.
Okay,
in
so
the
you're
eyes.
okay. Let me make a roll.
Trying to help him see, because she doesn't know what to do about fairy dust and frog eyes. She's like, I don't.
What am I supposed to be seeing?
Do you see the little flecks of fairy dust there in the eyes?
Did you bump your head?
Not today.
Something tells me he rolled terribly.
I don't see anything.
Belthis, can you? Can anyone else see this? I don't want to get yelled at by anybody who thinks I'm doing something mean.
Numeral would come over and take a look.
Okay.
And Geier's going to come over too, as it seems like everybody is now staring up at this eyeball. And this is a spot hidden check.
Spot hidden. You can roll spot hidden. Sure.
Failed and took disheartened and failed again.
I succeeded.
Succeed. Okay.
Meets it, beats it, right?
I believe it
Oh wait, why did I roll with?
does. Yeah.
Hold on. Am I supposed to?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bang on
Why
that.
did you roll with?
Yeah, why'd you roll 3 of them though? There's a lot of banes.
Well, it's probably one for the conditions you have.
Oh yeah, and I still have it marked with a bane from the persuasion check.
Oh, there you go.
And you still succeed.
So
Yeah.
Kasuka's doing the best that she can to explain.
No, Tsunumeral seems to pick it out. Geier seems to pick it out. Master Tetsu really looks confused.
Okay, so here's the deal. Tired of everybody yelling. I just want us all to get along again. If I wanted to be a jerk, I would have gone straight for the shiny. So let's be clear. There's some shinies up there.
Oh, yeah.
They seem to be flickering with such strange inner light.
Now that you two can see it, I'm gonna sit down so I don't get yelled at anymore or told that what I want to do doesn't matter, or that I can get left at camp. And Kasuka goes and sits down and pouts again.
Thank you for showing us.
She huffs like the toddler that she appears to be.
What interesting light coming from these crystals.
Keep talking about this light. It's something I missed.
That's what I was looking for. You said you were missing something, so I looked at a different angle because I'm so small.
I must ponder this more.
Maybe it'll help you see something.
Where could we find this Verulium?
Violamine?
Violamine!
Yes.
Vegemite? Anybody hungry?
There is a cave. If you climb to the top above the waterfall, there's a cave not too far. You can enter there. You must be careful when you're entering the caves. Dark, mysterious things lurk in the shadows. Yes, Wolfkin.
Muted, maybe?
Muted, yes. Above table though. Just backtracking because I looked it up. When Kasuga grabbed his head and was pointing at him, technically, would that not have given him a boon from the help from others action?
I'll go ahead and roll that.
Never mind.
I just figured it might have evened out because he's so old. His eyes are old and he's been in the dark so long.
Yeah, that's how I'm like headcanoning this.
Got the sense
Kasuga is helping him. Let me point you in the right direction.
That's right. I like that.
It's like when a kid moves your head around, but they're like holding onto your eyes when they're piggybacking.
It's like, it's right up there.
You see the strange things in there? Strange how? More harpies?
No, there can be. Harpies do dwell in caves at times. Terrible spiders lurk in the shadows, build their webs. Trap you there and suck your blood. Drink you dry.
So spot hidden was what we rolled to see the world. I didn't pass, so I can't do it myself, but what do you want to identify what it is?
I mean, I think sense magic does that. But
Bum bum bum.
awareness to like know what, maybe get more, like get a better view of it, like what it actually is. But I think you already succeeded on that, and you know it's kind of like just like a smooth gemstone or something, but they're massive. Like we're talking a massive carved face in the wall, and these are like, imagine like a huge smooth ball of a gem.
Frog-esque.
Yeah.
I don't see why a harpy would worship a frog, so I don't believe it would be them.
Well, how would you know? Maybe it's just a massive, giant frog. Picture a behemoth, but a frog.
Like a frog heaving?
Doesn't that sound horrifying?
You guys
It
stop
does.
talking about things that Belthus is gonna want to go kill immediately and that can eat me in one bite again.
Speaking of which, we should go explore this cave and recover these minerals so we can get back to Outskirt.
Do you really want to go swimming again so soon, Belthus?
I don't want to, but I will if I have to.
Are you gonna put your armor on before we go in the cave again, though?
Of course.
Okay.
We can take a shift. A stretch rest.
You can take a stretch rest if you want here, or you can continue on. And because remember, you can only take one stretch rest per.
Just after you guys like knock your heads on some rocks under the waterfall again, just to
Yeah.
For a second time, we'll
But perhaps we should get out and to the top of the waterfall before we worry about.
Yeah.
What happens if somebody falls down the waterfall and back under the water and...
That is a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. So you guys are gonna head back out the. Are you gonna take a stretch rest first? Or you
No.
skip
We'll
it?
get up there.
Well, to,
Yeah, I think we should
and-
hold on to that.
And honestly, since you guys had the experience of like swimming under this, I think by now, like Geier rolling a dragon and Connery rolling a dragon, you guys would be able to better lead everybody out in the same manner that you guys were able to find that space that the current and the undertow wasn't quite as bad. And I'm not even going to make you guys make the second roll. You guys kind of swim back under. You kind of leads you out. Yeah.
Basically, Geier would say, Connery, you start leading and I'll take up the rear.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And as everyone jumps in, Geier's going to take a second and look back at Master Tetsu and to say, you said we had to earn your trust.
Hi.
How do we earn your trust? Something to think on.
He kind of nods.
How's
And
that? Geier give a little nod and...
Tenumeral, would you have left your knife with him, or you taken it with you to bring back?
I probably would. I would have asked for it back
Okay.
to have
Yeah.
for potentially killing spiders at melee range.
Gotcha.
Well,
Okay. So you guys are led out under the water, and you will take you and lead you to a path that it's not like you're not gonna have to like make any climbing rolls or anything like that. It looks like it's enough that you guys it's enough of a trail or a path that you guys can get up there.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna say, Connery?
so we made the swim without any swim roll whatsoever.
Yep, didn't have to make the roll.
Yep.
Because
Wait, what's your shirt say? What's
Mm-hmm.
your shirt say?
It says
Yeah.
merciful. I'm being very merciful.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I also realized I think I took my points before for when I hit my head to my willpower and not my hit points. Because I realized my hit points are full and I definitely hit my head.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
5, I think. You had 5.
It was what, 5 damage?
It was 5 total. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I definitely put them in the full section.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
well,
2 Verbelvis.
Yeah.
so it was
And-
5 for me.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then my leather armor, I did not take that off. Does that it resists against loaded leather and studded leather gain a +2 bonus to their
Well,
armor rating against
This
bludgeoning? Or does that
I
not
just
count?
kind of flavored the damage to be like bludgeoning damage because technically it's like drowning damage.
Drowning.
Yeah.
So
okay.
armor wouldn't have any effect on it anyway, really. So
Alright.
I just flavored it that way in the storytelling portion of it. You guys,
So I am down 5 hit points. Before we go fight spiders, I definitely I need to take a stretch because I don't
We
think.
ought to take a quick rest at the top for certain.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys do actually get to the top where eventually you reach some area between the mountains and next to the river, a cave mouth. that is in the direction that Master Tetsu said you would find it.
Did you follow us all the way up here, or just show us to the path?
She just showed you to the path and then let you on your way.
Guy would have made sure to say, well, thank you. We appreciate all the assistance you've given us.
Oh, and she bows to you and thank you, Master
Thank
Geier.
you.
You thanks you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you, you. So how bad do the people around me appear?
Nothing arrest couldn't shake off for me.
I'm saying, like, if a heal would cover it, I'd rather heal than taking a rest, where half of the party is like at full health, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little angry and disheartened, but that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, does shifts also give back willpower?
Yeah.
A stretch, she gives a
Is that
certain.
is that
amount
in
of
and out
dice.
of game?
If you use your oh wait, not everybody has inner peace. For me, it definitely gives. If I do that also.
Yeah, I think it's like D6 or 2D6 and
Is that you?
willpower.
So you guys
for a stretch.
do you want to take a stretch right here at the cave mouth?
I forgot about the conditions, so it looks like everybody can benefit from one at this time.
Well, just take a minute.
Okay.
In a stretch, everyone gets willpower in a condition, and elves get a little more, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
I think you
use
get a
your
D6 HP too, don't you, on a stretch?
D6 if you're not assisted by somebody, 2D6 if somebody wants to tend to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then willpower is D6 as well, and you heal a condition.
Yep.
And you get one condition, and then if you use your memento, you get to heal an additional condition.
Yeah, you guys still have your mementos. Remember that.
Oh, that's right.
Don't forget
Yeah,
about
I can
those.
go to both my conditions.
And those mementos are once per session, so don't forget about those.
Alright, I heal back everything I lost.
I think Belvis just fell off the cliff and down into the dark water.
Now, I am taking you guys to a new map, but I don't know if you'll be able to see because it is dark
can
in
see
this
my token.
cave.
I see myself.
Let
Okay.
me X out Takata Tetsu's portrait.
So I don't know what you guys have for light sources or what you would like to do.
Before
It is very dark in the cave ahead of you.
Alright, gonna cast
No.
light on my amulet then.
Okay. I'll add that light to you.
Would I be able to light my torch? Or is it too soggy?
I'll say you can light it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull my torch out and light that too.
Okay.
So that way, if we do the intelligent thing and split the party again, we get 2 light sources.
Okay, so
numeral.
Geier and Connor, you should be illuminating light now from your tokens.
I'm just going to check.
Yay.
Yep.
Yeah, I see.
Tenumeral would,
Oh, that's the cave. That's
Tenumeral would
Connor,
look at
you're going the
Geier.
wrong way.
Whee!
He's leaving the map. He's leaving the world.
Before going any deeper into the cave, Tenumeral would look at Geier and ask him if he would like to learn that incantation for his ring. As she thinks it could be helpful going forward.
Geier will look and say, I would be most interested in learning if you're willing to share. And I will
Connery's
also
ears
share,
are gonna perk up.
And I will also share some information with you, as I have no doubt that people witnessed my private conversation with Master Tetsu.
Yes, you weren't very conspicuous, you know. We can see you when you're whispering to people. You're not sneaking.
No, I was deliberately not. I was just having a private conversation. And he seems to be willing to train. Should we prove worthy of his trust?
Seems like something happened to the last person he trained.
I got that sensation as well, but he was willing to at least broach the subject with me. I know when you mentioned it initially, he shut it down and walked away. I offered to collect more of that vitriol he asked for, but he said he only needed it to repair your dagger and is agreed if we earn his trust to teach.
Thank you, Geier. I think it would be helpful if I could pick up an additional school of magic. I do have the talent for it at this point. If he can manipulate fire, he may be able to teach me elementalism, which we don't quite have that in our repertoire yet.
Oh, and he did mention an ability to, an affinity, I believe he said, to control magical heat.
Yeah. Could be helpful. Well, so that little ring of yours can cast light. If you repeat the words, Eladane, share your... I think I wrote it down. Kalska probably has it in her notes.
Flawlessly.
Oh yeah, I put it in my chat because I lost my pen and I never wrote it down after.
Eladane, Lord of the World, give us light.
Yes,
Yeah, that's the one.
Let's say.
So, Geier's going to look down and, like, look at it a couple times, take the torch, and actually hand the torch over to Belfus.
All right.
Then
New light source.
hold it in the Eladane, Lord of Light, give us light.
Nothing happens.
Wait, are you looking down at your ring while you say that?
Yeah.
Blinded.
Mr. Geier, Mr. Geier, Lord of the World, give us light.
Eladane, Lord of the World, give us light.
And immediately you're almost blinded by it.
Right, like looking into a flashlight.
As this ring just shines this bright illuminated light from it, just like the amulet that Connery has. And yeah, poor Mallard.
Congratulations on your first spell, Mr. Geier.
And Connery's looking back at Tinny and Geier finally getting along, and you just hear this and it's actually his tail wagging.
Think that to quote a friend of mine, associate. Thank you, Lady Sia.
You're welcome, Mr. Geier.
Geier, you've successfully casted your spell. That's Geier's on cloud 9. Watch out.
Geier's gonna walk over, put the arm around Kalsigo with the ring right there.
Showing it off.
So Belthus. Wait, I have a question. Did Belthus ever get his armor back when we went back up, or is he still...
Oh yeah, I had it in my backpack. It's back on now.
Oh yeah, during the stretch rest, I assume he was armoring back up.
Yeah. When Geier puts his arm around
that would be very bad.
But yeah, when Geier puts his arm around Kalska and it's glowy, she just goes, "No, next time I don't need a nightlight. I'm borrowing this. I found it."
Well, now everybody knows the incantation. Hopefully, we won't have to take it off your dead wing.
Anything else, Mr. Geier? I'm killing it.
She teaches me a spell and then tells me I might die. It's good to be back to normal, isn't it, everyone?
And with all of you
And you know,
standing...
Geier,
Go ahead.
regarding teaching spells, in my clan, you have to have each spell you want to learn done to you, so
something to consider. Anyway.
Considering you talked to my brain and threw me around, that's 2 down.
Two down.
Part of the trial and the test. Unfortunately, your motivations were not great for mentalism, but perhaps other forms of magic may be more suited for you.
Kasuga just leans into Connery. A lot of things are making sense again.
It's a good thing, right?
No, I'm more scared.
There.
And you guys can all hear like the subtle drips coming and echoing from deeper within the cave as all this light from you guys now is illuminating down the path. And you can see the silhouetted versions of your characters kind of walking away from our camera shot into the cave. So that's where we're going to stop for tonight. That'll end our episode of Dragonbane, Secret of the Dragon Emperor.